If there is one thing that you can always trust the Scottish Government to do, it's focus on the big problems. The really severe issues. The most damning things that Scottish society faces. Things like homelessness or people dying while on waiting lists for the NHS. You know, the really serious shit. So whenever you see things like that, I know that the Scottish Government is going to do everything it can to focus on such serious problems. Like me and my Nazi pug video. Of course, the government had to focus 100% of its time and energy on that, on my spicy meme, on my spicy bants. Millions of people could have died. Millions. So obviously the Scottish Government had to invest, probably around £100,000 to nail me to a cross. Just for it to get £800 of that back. I mean, that's a profit. That's a profit of minus £99,200. Pay your taxes. But now the Scottish Government is focusing on the next big serious issue. The worst thing to ever happen to this country since heroin. The worst thing to ever happen to this country since the SNP. A problem so severe that the government has had to start a campaign. A campaign against it. Periods. The Scottish Government Marketing and Insight Unit decided to show very little insight and made a little thread on Twitter about their Let's Talk Periods campaign, because apparently this is something that required time and money. And they even showed some pictures of women who have made some art representing their periods. I'm just going to go ahead and hope that this wasn't made with like actual period blood. Not just because that's bogging, but I always just get worried whenever someone starts writing with blood, because I always think that they're going to accidentally summon a demon. And this is period blood. So you wouldn't even get one of the cool demons that you would usually get if you were writing with, the blood of a virgin. Somebody cool, like Slanesh. No, this is period blood. You're going to get one of the shit low-tier demons. Like Hillary.
Time of the month. Shark Week. And flow.
The Red Sea.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic acting, big man. Here you go. These are for you. Fucking take them.
Got the painters in? On the blob.
The point of the campaign. Let's talk periods. Comments disabled.
Avoiding the word period suggests there's something to be ashamed of.
Well, not really. People use euphemisms when describing such things to sort of soften the blow and be more polite, because nobody really wants to talk about bodily functions, especially those that involve bodily waste, openly out in public, and most people obviously don't want to hear about it either. So people use euphemisms instead to sort of soften the blow and make this conversation matter a lot more palatable. Let me give you an example. I'll be back in a wee minute, mate. I need to drop my kids off at the pool. There you go, a euphemism, a slightly humorous one, a polite and softer way of saying that you need to go and use the little boys' room, which is another euphemism. And it sounds a lot nicer and a lot more polite than saying, I'm away for a fucking massive shite. And now we all know that shiting is nothing to be ashamed of. I shite. You shite. Your girlfriend shites. Your mum shites. Your mum does big shites. Sometimes people shite on each other. If you go into the Discord, you'll see a lot of that. It is a perfectly normal bodily function. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But at the end of the day, it's talking about human waste, like pissing or periods, so we don't want to hear about that. We don't want to hear about it. I don't want you to have a deep, in-depth conversation with me about the horrible, manky, smelly shit that comes out of your fucking body, right? Just say you need to use the toilet, or you need to put a tampon in, and then just go all the way over there, and then do it far away from me, right? No, nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to know. We don't need to have a chat about it. We don't need to have a conversation about it. Go away.
So some of us tuck tampons up our sleeves.
Why the sleeve? No, but really, like, why the sleeve? Why not just keep it in your hand or put it in your pocket or keep it in your handbag like any other sane woman and then use that to take it to the toilet. Right, why are people like so paranoid that they're hiding tampons up their sleeve? It's a tampon, not cocaine, that you're trying to sneak into a nightclub. Like, we know you bleed. We know you have periods. We are all fully aware that once a month, women bleed from their vagina. That's common knowledge. That's something that you learn simply from being alive. Right? This is nothing new. It is nothing special. It is completely fucking normal. And we know that you bleed. Like, as guys, we know. We are fully fucking aware. We don't just see you with a tampon in your hand and then have this sudden miraculous enlightenment as to the inner functions of the human body. She has a tampon in her bag. The prophecy is true.
Are scared of leaking.
Why is it a problem for women to be worried about that? I think that is a very valid concern. I don't know many women that want period blood running down their leg, so I think it's very normal for that to be something they should be concerned with. I mean, I'm worried about shit in my pants, and I find that to be a very valid concern. Do you remember that free bleeding troll that everybody fell for? Fucking good times.
Or think it's something we should hide at all costs. It's time we started a conversation. One that begins by calling periods.
So there is an actual government campaign using government time and government resources and government money paid for by your taxes to get people to stop using euphemisms. See, if we got independence, we wouldn't last a week. And it wouldn't be our fault, it would be the government's. Look, I know we should have used the money to buy food and radiation meds, but we had to use it to change all the road signs to that language that we don't even teach in our schools. I honestly really don't give a shit that women have periods. I don't care. I don't care. When my wife comes in and says, "Babe, I'm on my period," I say, "That's fine. But stay over there." I said, "Stay over there, right? And don't touch me. Don't touch me. And don't touch anything, and don't sit on anything either, right? Because as it says in the book of Leviticus, even God thinks you're bogging, for it is written. In fact, just go to the shed, right? You're going to stay in the shed until that shit's over and done with, right? Shed, go, now. Apparently the main point of the campaign is to get people to talk about periods. Why? What deep and meaningful conversations can come from talking about periods? I mean, I can imagine something like, "Do you have a spare tampon? I'm on my period." Or, "I'm not feeling very well. I'm on my period." And that's fine. Those are completely normal things to say. There's no stigma around those phrases. I'm trying my best to be charitable, but is there some deep philosophical shit behind periods that I'm just not getting? Maybe there is some philosophical shit to periods that I'm missing. Maybe the blood flowing down the leg represents the moral and ethical degradation of our society, and the red of the period blood represents the true enemy and cause of this: communism. But maybe the period represents something else. A period is a wasted, unfertilised egg. A wasted chance at life. An egg that was not fertilised in time being the key concept here. Because it seems that merely existing in this fickle and macabre universe comes down to simply timing itself. The egg was not fertilised in time. A missed chance at existence. An opportunity that could have been. This person could have been a great intellectual, or possibly a great conqueror. It could have been someone that completely changed the flow of time itself, the timeline that this universe is currently in, but a chance at even merely existing in this universe was missed out on because of time. Time ultimately will be what kills you, but time can also prevent you from ever even having existed at all. Also, it's a wasted egg, and apparently that makes Stefan Molyneux really angry. You know what, fuck it, I'm going to start my own campaign, but it's not going to cost any, government resources, money, and your fucking taxes. I'm going to focus on a campaign of an issue that affects mostly men. Wet dreams. Dreamgasm. Moist nightmare. Morning dew. Morning dew. Midnight monsoon. Cream dream. The night nut. Mattress fracking. Internight. Exit. Cum. Avoiding the words wet dream suggests that there is something to be ashamed of, when there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. You should be proud that you came in your pants. It's time we started a conversation. Wet dreams are a completely normal bodily function, and it's high time that we should be able to walk right up to our family, friends and strangers in the street and tell them in great detail about how we had wet dreams and came in our fucking pants, because it's nothing to be ashamed of, right? There's nothing to be ashamed of. You should be able to walk right up to anyone and tell them that you had a wet dream, right? You should be able to tell them that in the middle of the night you got a little visit from Casper the Friendly Ghost, right? There's no shame in it. It's a normal bodily function. So I want you right now, to go up to someone and tell them you came in your pants. Don't do that. It is a totally normal bodily function, and you've no reason to be ashamed of it. You know what? Sometimes I just wank directly on my mattress. You're complaining about having to hide a tampon up your sleeve so that you can sneak it past people. Have you ever tried to sneak a double duck down duvet past your mum? This is a fucking giant waste of money. This is just a giant fucking waste of money. There is no stigma around periods. We know you get periods. We know that now and again you might need to sneak off to the bathroom to stick a tampon in. That's fine. Nobody cares. I know that the vast majority of women would rather not have a period. I mean, it would have been a lot nicer and a lot easier if just once a month you simply just pissed the egg out. But no, nature decided to be a cunt about it. And that's fine. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Just put your tampon in and get on with things, right? Because you don't need to talk about it. You don't need to tell me what you're doing. Just go to the toilet and fucking put a tampon in, right? It's the same as, I don't really want to know if you're going away for a number 1 or number 2, right? I don't need to know. Nobody needs to know. Just go put your tampon in and get the fuck on with things. See, if you start your period and you don't have a tampon on you and you see me in the street, just come up to me and say, can you quickly run in there and get me tampons? I'll do it. I'll do it because I don't care. I don't care, and I will happily go into that shop and buy you tampons. Just don't fucking touch me.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe. Yeah.